What's going on, guys? Greg Ferris here with Myo Brain. Haven't made a video in quite a while. I think my head's chopped off. But I've been super busy. I just started working with Texas Tech University Athletic Department. So I am a sports nutrition intern for them. In short, pretty much anything you could imagine an athlete needs nutrition-wise, whether it's like a consult or kind of seeing what they're eating for lunch, pre-workout nutrition, post-workout nutrition, making their snacks, their shakes, any of that stuff. We do that for almost all the athletes at Texas Tech, about 400-ish. Not me alone. We have a huge team of people, so it's awesome. But yeah, I started doing that. This is my third week now. Today is February 11th or something like that. I don't even know. This is my third week though, so I've been working kind of crazy hours and just kind of getting acclimated to things here in Lubbock, Texas. I'm like 12 hours away from, I'm probably like 16 hours away from Emporia where I went to school, about 12 hours away from my hometown. So anyways, that's why I haven't been putting up too much stuff, but I will have some training footage up probably next week. So what I want to talk about in this video though was effort. The reason why I want to kind of make this video right now is because I think it's kind of timely with contest prep coming up. So what I mean by effort is you kind of see this trend a lot with you saw it with clean eating and then flexible dieting. You maybe see it with like high intensity training where you do like one set to failure and then people do like super high volume. It's kind of a revolt against the way things are, completely like a 180 to something else, which may be better or worse, but it's kind of a phenomenon you can see in like economics or whatever. And I'm seeing that same kind of thing with physique sports, bodybuilding, physique, figure, bikini, stuff like that. Seeing the same kind of thing with effort. And what I mean by that, and don't get me wrong, mainly I think Lane Norton and a little bit of Eric Helms as well. Eric Helms was kind of the first person, at least with bodybuilding, that I really kind of connected with and got a more scientific approach with. Alan Aragon definitely, which is kind of more nutrition as well. But Alan doesn't deal so much with the physique sports, I don't think. So Eric Helms, definitely Lane Norton as of late, have done a really good job with educating people that you don't need to do 2 hours of cardio, a black and white term at least. You don't need to do 2 hours of cardio. You don't need to eat nothing but chicken and broccoli 6 times a day to look your best, to get on stage, to be lean. And that is totally true. I totally agree with those guys. But what I think a lot of the public or people that watch their videos and listen to the information are missing out on, and I'm sure if you actually talk to them, they would clear this up pretty easily. When Lane says don't do 2 hours of LISS cardio, what he's really trying to say is don't start your prep off 20 weeks out on super low calories and a ton of cardio, because you're going to stall out and you're going to get frustrated. You're not going to know what to do. And I completely agree with that. What I don't think Lane is saying is that, don't go under 400 grams of carbs or else your metabolism is going to crash. Or don't do 5 hours of cardio a week, which I would consider a ton for someone in contest prep. I really wouldn't. Don't do that, because then your metabolism is going to crash. Again, you have a lot of these people that have done contest preps or heard of people doing contest preps with these crazy cardio protocols and these stupid diet plans. So they kind of revolt and say, I'm going to eat a ton of food and do no cardio. Screw cardio, that messes up your metabolism. And again, it's just like how people who ate really, really clean, they switch to flexible dieting, and all of a sudden they're just eating crap all the time and hitting their macros. Probably not the best kind of diet they can have. They probably should switch somewhere in the middle where they're quote unquote eating clean and hitting their macros, which is what I kind of promote with my clients and people who want to listen to me. So same kind of concept I'm seeing with physique athletes. With the effort used to be super, super high. They used to, and again, that's a good thing, super high, tons of cardio, sacrifice, diet sucks, but I'm going to do it because my coach tells me I need to do it. And they get on stage and they probably didn't really like the process. And now people are saying that that's totally a bad way of doing things and they need to stop doing those things. I'm kind of here to say that, again, there's a middle ground that is true for most people. I'm going to be flat out honest with anyone watching this video. Majority of people are not getting on stage eating 400 grams of carbohydrates. Most people are not getting on stage without a good deal of cardio, probably at least, 2-3 hours a week of cardio. You can kind of measure out your HIIT and your LISS or whatever, but that's just some general guidelines. So, 2 hours a week of cardio would be like 4 30-minute sessions, which again, some people would be like, oh no, you can't do LISS because your metabolism is going to crash. That's not true. I don't think that's what Lane is saying or what anyone promoting this, I don't want to say a new kind of prep, but a more educated, easier way of doing prep. They're not saying you shouldn't do those things. They're saying that you shouldn't do those things before you need to. You probably shouldn't do any cardio until you need to. You shouldn't drop your calories until you need to. But I'm sure Eric and Lane can attest to this. There's people that have to go super low calories. People have to go under 15, 14, 1,300 calories to get on stage. Especially female competitors are just smaller. They don't have as much muscle mass. Metabolisms or their BMR is lower, so it just makes sense. Especially if you're doing like younger competitors like myself. I was 150 pounds on stage. You can't be 150 pounds. I didn't really have that much muscle mass. Can't be 150 pounds and be eating a ton of food. It's just kind of, I don't want to say common sense, but again, people need to realize that before they start a prep or once they're in prep. If your coach says, okay, we're doing, you're doing say you're 8 weeks out, you're kind of in your prime, I need to get my ass in shape mode. Okay, we're going to bump up your HIIT to 2 hours, or not 2 hours, sorry. Bump up your HIIT to 2 sessions a week, and we're going to have some low carbohydrate days of, 90 grams of carbs. And you're like, my metabolism, no, I can't do that. My metabolism I'm going to have metabolic damage. And again, I'm not saying metabolic damage isn't happening and stuff like that. And definitely your metabolism slows down. That's supposed to happen. I've talked about in the video before when you diet. But again, there's a sacrifice, for the lack of a better term, that people have to make to get that lean. There's going to be days, anyone that's probably done a show is going to attest to this. There's going to be days where you want to quit. Most days when you're from probably about 8 weeks out until the show, till not even show day, probably about 8 weeks out to like 12 to 16 weeks post, I was hungry all day for my prep. Most people will tell you the same thing. You get to a certain level of leanness, you're just going to be hungry. Sure, you can do flexible dieting. It's going to be a little bit easier psychologically, but you're still going to be hungry. It's still going to be hard. My whole kind of point is still going to take a lot of effort. Should you start your prep off on super low calories? No. At some point during your prep, are you going to have to go to super low calories? Maybe. You're probably going to have to go lower calories than you probably want. Should you start your prep off in a super high cardio volume? No, but there's probably going to be a point during your prep you're going to have to do a lot of cardio to get into shape. Okay, that's not a black and white term, but it's going to be right for a lot more people than it's wrong. So understand, I guess, what I'm trying to say here is that effort is a part of getting in shape. And maybe kind of like, common sense to some people. But again, I'm seeing a big revolt in effort, to be quite frank, that again, you don't need to probably put as much effort as you thought you did when you're doing 2 hours of cardio and literally starving all day on 800 calories. You don't need to put in that much effort, but there may be days where you're going to be hungry. There's going to be days where you don't want to do cardio anymore. There's going to be days where you want to eat everything in your kitchen. That's a part of prep. And if you're not mentally prepared, physically prepared for that, you probably shouldn't be doing a contest prep. I'm just going to be flat out honest with people. There's a reason why I tell people I will never compete until I'm done with school, like completely master's. If I do a PhD, I will not compete because I know how much it took away from me just mentally and physically, and being tired and time-wise, just having to spend more time in the gym and all of that. So that's kind of my message to people. Again, there's a huge revolt, I feel like, with prep right now. People did a lot of dumb shit with prep. They didn't eat enough. They did way too much cardio, way too soon, I should say that. And then now they're kind of revolting and saying, oh, I'm in prep, but I'm not doing any LISS cardio. That kills your metabolism. Good luck getting in shape without doing any kind of low-intensity cardio. Good luck getting in shape without doing any low-calorie days. That's just a part of it. So just kind of an educational thing to some people that may be getting the wrong idea from what to expect in contest prep. Again, it's probably not as hard as it used to be, but contest prep is really, really hard no matter what you're doing. best prep coach in the world, best kind of strategy in the world, it's still going to be hard. So thank you guys for watching this video. Again, I'll be having that training video up probably sometime next week. Let me know in the comments below if you guys still watch my videos. Let me know in the comments below what you guys kind of think about this. Maybe, hopefully this makes sense to people. Hopefully I'm not the only person seeing this and people are like, why the hell are you talking about this? You're freaking crazy. I don't know what you're talking about. So yeah, guys, thank you for watching this. Go check out my website, gregferrisfitness.com. I launch a newsletter every month, which is super awesome. And my Facebook page and Twitter and all those social media things. Check me out, all that stuff. Like this video, subscribe to this video. I forget all the stuff I'm supposed to say. So yeah, guys, thanks for watching the video, and peace out.